Sound good? Welcome, you guys. I'm hanging out in my sweats. I am nice and cozy. It is cold here in North Carolina. I don't know about you. I know it's cold where Jennifer is. But we're diving into day three, and we're talking all about the three most important needle movers to focus on in your business in order to have a steady stream of clients. So we talked on day one all about our mindset and how really our mindset, owning our value, owning our worthiness, deciding that we are six-figure business owners, deciding that we are valuable and we're passionate about what it is that we get to do. That energy is the 80%. That is the inner game that we embrace. And that is what a lot of courses, programs, business, traditional business things leave out. They tend to focus a lot on strategy, and strategy is absolutely 1000% important. I am a strategy coach, but I'm also a mindset coach as well, because what I know is that we can know all of the things to do, but if we don't do them, it doesn't matter, right? It's like we can read the book, but if we don't do something with it, it doesn't matter. So today, on Monday, we talked about that energetic component of it. Then yesterday we talked about, all right, now we're clear, we're all in, we're deciding to go in, we're committed, we're going to do this thing. What are the pieces that we need to create that are our foundations for a thriving business? And when I say foundations, that is, how are you actually going to work with people? What is your offer suite? We talked about signature system. We talked about what makes an offer irresistible to your ideal clients because they have to see the value. We have to communicate the value in order for them to feel that it's predictable, that they can get their results, and that they know you, they love you, they trust you. So, yesterday, if you missed that, we've got that in the replay center. Everything's up and waiting for you. Definitely go back and watch that because those are some of the foundational pieces. We can't actually make income in our business if we don't know what it is that we're selling, right? And we also don't want to have 30 different offers, because then we're like, I don't know, what should I do? What am I focusing on? Then we're very distracted, right? So we talked yesterday about the three specific things, the power of three, having a top ticket, mid ticket, and low ticket offer, which is our offer suite, our six-figure offer suite. And we talked about what makes you special and what is going to allow you to 10x your business, which is having a signature or a proprietary framework or signature system. So once we've got those things dialed in, now we actually have to move into the next three pieces, which we call attract, nurture, and invite. And inside the Soulful Abundance System, which is the book that's out there that you guys are learning this training on, we share the three, it's like a Venn diagram. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that we can talk about like, why do we need, all three together? And here's why we need all three together. The way that clients come into our world, they start off as being a stranger. So I want you to kind of understand that not everybody who comes into your world knows exactly what it is that you do, right? How you can help them and how you can solve their problem. So when people are kind of like walking along a path, I like to think about it in terms of a sidewalk and a pathway. And then from a pathway, we've got little benches along the pathway. And then we've got a front porch that is attached to a house. I love front porches. I live in the South. Love my rocking chairs. And I want you to think about your house as your six-figure offer suite, right? You've got three different offers in there. Well, in order for for you to invite them to work with you, your job is not to run out of your house and grab them off the sidewalk and drag them into the house, right? That would be scary. That's like stranger danger, right? We're like, whoa, what's going on? This person is like crazy. Our job is to actually get their attention as they're walking along the sidewalk first. And so the attract, nurture, and invite pillars and steps that we talk about are really, really important. And we do them in that order. We do them in that order. Jennifer's laughing at me. Because we are not trying to just attract somebody and then drag them into the house. That would be completely missing this nurture step. What we want to do is get their attention so that they are here and they're like, yes, I love what it is that you do, or I'm interested in what it is that you do. Now they're a viewer, right? And a viewer is somebody that you may or may not know that they're in your ecosystem, right? They might be watching, they might be liking, they might not be liking, they might just be watching and vetting and seeing who you are, noticing what your energy is, right? But once they are coming into your ecosystem and they become a viewer, they can go into what we call a lead, which is somebody who now gets to be served with amazing value, right? And here's the key, you guys. This is all part of the nurture process that business schools do not teach. I didn't learn it in my certification programs. I have 12 certifications. I really do. It's insane. Never learned this step. All I learned was you got to make money. You got to make the sales, right? Like go sell your thing. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? And how do you do that in a way that feels really true and authentic without feeling like a salesy weirdo? Well, first we have to get their attention, bring them into our ecosystem, give them value, and help them to create a win before we invite them to work with us, right? Once they're there and we're helping them create a win and we are nurturing, then we can share even more value, and then we can give them the natural next step, which is inviting them to work with us. But I want you to think about that nurture pathway is that pathway that leads from the sidewalk to the house or to the front porch, but there are multiple benches along the pathway, which means that that's your nurture process. They might sit down at one bench because they downloaded your freebie. Then they might sit down at another bench and come into your Facebook group. Then they might sit down at another bench and show up to a live. Then they might sit down at another bench and come into a workshop, right? It depends. Everybody is different. Some people are going to move through that quicker. Some people are going to move through that slower. But if you are not nurturing the people that are in your ecosystem, then what you're doing is you are it's going to be taking a lot longer for them to move through this process from stranger to viewer to lead to potential client to paying client. Because what we know is that it takes about 11 hours of interaction with you or 20 to 40 touches before somebody knows you, likes you, trusts you, and is ready to buy. So if you're not nurturing, how are you getting that 11 hours and those 20 to 40 touches? Posting on Facebook and Instagram is not it. That is actually not part of nurturing. That's actually part of attracting. It's important. I do it. Absolutely. We have to be visible so people can find us. But just posting is not a strategy. Just posting is a tactic that falls into how are we attracting new people into our ecosystem. And so I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm posting every day, but I don't have any clients. Nobody's reaching out to me. Nobody's taking me up on my offers. Well, what are you doing to nurture? What are you doing to connect? Are you reaching out to those people? Are you creating relationships with those people? Are you helping them to create a win? Just because we post with an offer doesn't mean that people are going to buy if they don't have that experience of know, like, trust. Make sense? Yeah. So if we want to have income in our business on a daily basis, consistently, we have to do these three things. We have to attract, we have to nurture, and we have to invite. These are revenue generating activities that are going to allow you to enroll clients consistently and predictably. And I want to share again, like, these are like three legs of a stool. You can attract the right client and nurture them, but if you never invite them to work with you, they can't be a yes because there's no offer, right? It's like, throwing a Thanksgiving party and cooking all the food and decorating the house, but never actually inviting anybody to come join you for dinner. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but that's the same thing. We can build a business, we can create the offers, but if we never invite somebody to work with us, they don't know that they can. So attracting and nurturing needs the invite piece. We can nurture and invite, but if we're not attracting the right client, then we might be actually speaking the wrong language. We might be speaking broccoli when they're asking for chocolate, right? We're not using the right words. We're not focusing on the problem. We might be trying to convince somebody that they should want to do something about the problem. And yesterday we talked about 30% of the people in your ecosystem are sidewalkers. They're not willing to do anything about their problem right now. And yet, much of the content and energy that coaches expend are trying to convince people that they should do something about their problem. That's not your ideal client. We do not want to attract the sidewalkers. We want to speak to the people who are in the slow lane, who are problem aware, that know they have a problem and they want to do something about it. Okay. So when we attract the people that know that they have a problem and want to do something about it, then we can nurture them so that now they can learn more about you and how you are helping them solve their specific problem. Now they're problem aware. They know that they want to do something about it. And now they're also aware of you and how you can help them. And then we can invite them to work with you. Now they know ways that they can actually have a solution to their problem. Okay. So these three things go on repeat. This is your marketing and sales system. Okay. Actually, our marketing system is our attract. Our sales system is a combination of nurture and invite. Okay. So the first step that I want you to look at is which one are you missing? Are you posting consistently but not nurturing? Are you nurturing, like reaching out to people, but you're not attracting the right client? Are you inviting people to work with you, but you haven't really nurtured them yet? And so you're getting a lot of no's, or I'm not sure, or I need to think about it, right? Which one of these three are you missing? Because that's what I want to help you fill. And this is what we do inside of Activate Abundance Academy. Oh, yeah, Deanna, right? I know we're so good at giving things away, aren't we? We are. We're like, oh, let me just help people. I just want to help people. Like, let me just look, and there's nothing wrong with helping people. I'm here. I'm helping you guys for free. You're here going through this workshop for free. There's nothing wrong with helping people. But you also have to give people an opportunity to work with you. Because what we know is that coaches that are trying to build and grow their business, your clients who are trying to do it on their own, are not getting results. They're not getting results. Why? They don't have the support from you. They don't have the accountability built in from you, and they don't have the right system process that is helping them get from where they are right now to where they want to be. Right? And so that is one of the reasons why I created Activate Abundance Academy. It was the program that I know that I needed when I was building and growing my business. And so it takes you through this entire piece here to teach you how to attract the right client, how to speak the words, how to nurture them once they come into your ecosystem, and then how to actually invite them without feeling like a salesy weirdo because they've already been nurtured. And by the time they actually get to this step, to the invitation, they already know you, they already like you, they already trust you. And so what you're doing is you are inviting them up onto your front porch. So I want you to think the front porch is a place where you just get to have a conversation with them, to hear them, and to listen to their challenges, their struggles, so that then you can help them decide which one of the three offers, which one of the rooms in your mansion is going to be the best fit for them, right? That is such a easy, heart-centered way for you to not only support somebody in making an empowered decision, but it takes all the pressure off your shoulders by trying to get the client to buy the one thing, right? When we've got three different offers, when we actually sit down and have a conversation with somebody, and remember, when they're up on your front porch, they're having a conversation because they want to come into your house. They're just not sure which offer, which room they want. But they're already interested. They've already been nurtured. They've already had an experience with you. They already know you, like you, trust you. That's why I don't do 1 hour free coaching sessions. I don't do discovery calls disguised as free coaching sessions when you really are just trying to sell your thing. When I get on consultation calls with people, it's only with people who already know that they are interested in how they can work with me, which means I don't need to convince anybody. I just get to sit on the front porch with them, listen to what's going on, hear what they want more the support around, give them the options, and let them make the choice. And if they are a yes, amazing. And if they're a no, no problem. Guess what they do when they're a no or not right now? They actually go back to the pathway and they have a seat on the bench and they get served more. That's it. They stay in my ecosystem and I still get to serve them and love on them. So a not right now doesn't mean that you're losing somebody. It actually means that they just need a little bit more time and they just need to be served a little bit more so that they can feel safe and trusting that you're the one to help them. But we don't need to do is to try to convince and persuade. Now, there's a lot of different ways when we talk about client attraction. Again, I want to kind of go back up here. I know I missed this slide, but did that on purpose. When we are attracting clients, what we're doing is we are, and this is marketing, this is helping them raise their hand so that we can see who in our world is looking for the solution that we provide or who has a problem that we can help solve. And 50% of the time in your business should be devoted to client attraction, and I would say nurturing as well, right? The invitation actually happens a lot quicker than you would think. Most people think that they have to spend all their time on sales. And that's actually, uh, if you are attracting and nurturing, the sales part is actually the easy part. The sales part is actually the easy part, right? Because you've already attracted the right people, you've already nurtured and created a relationship with somebody. So the sales part is just saying, would you like to explore having support with this? Easy peasy. And if so, come up on the front porch, we'll have a conversation, I'll listen. What are you looking for? Where are you stuck? These are some ways I could support you if you're interested in having my support to implement what it is that I'm sharing with you. That's it. So if you are attracting and nurturing, again, attracting the right clients. Now, this is, I like to call this my client attraction wheel because all of these are ways that you can attract clients into your ecosystem. Now, the two places that I start because they're very, very powerful are having a free offer. We call this having a high value, high converting freebie, having an email list, and having a presence on social media. Because when you have a presence, and when I say social media, I don't mean that I am living on my personal profile. I mean that I am cultivating a community of people who are interested in having the problem that I help them solve so that we have a curated community of people who are sitting at the benches, right? So social media, and I prefer to use a Facebook group because Facebook does Facebook groups the best. And if you are somebody who is wanting to create relationships with people, then you need to have the people who are most interested in one central place so that you can serve them over and over again, right? So that you can continue to nurture them, so that you can give value with them, so that you can create a relationship and respond to them and see who's actually there. And when you have a Facebook group, that is actually what gets to happen. People might download your freebie and then come into your Facebook group, and then they get to see you, hear you, build more like and trust with you. You know who's there because you have to approve who comes in. And so now you actually have a list of people that you know who to focus on, right? Without that, you're kind of shooting in the dark. You're posting and hoping somebody will reach out to you, and you're like, well, I think they might need support. Well, we don't really know, right? And for those of you that really enjoy in-person events, those are great too. That would fall into like speaking or in-person talks or things like that. But the problem with only focusing on in-person is that once you leave, you don't have a way to connect with them again, right? And we know that it takes 20 to 40 touches or 11 hours of time with you. So how are you going to collapse that timeline unless they come to your live events over and over and over again? So do the live events, absolutely, but bring them into a community so that you can continue to nurture them, so that they can continue to learn from you, so that you can help them to create wins, and then you can invite them to work with you. Okay, so client attraction, there's a lot of different ways. For those of you that like to write, you can do articles or books or blogs, right? I did my book. I just took my signature system and turned it into a book, right? You can go to networking groups and connect and collaborate. You can do joint workshops with people. There are a lot of ways that we can continue to attract, but they all are going to fall into one of two things. When we are doing client attraction, we are either doing things that we are doing ourselves, right? Such as inviting somebody to get a freebie, inviting somebody into a group, sharing value, doing an in-person talk, doing online talk, writing our newsletter. Those are things that we do on our own. And then the other lever is who else can help us get in front of our ideal client? And that's where referrals and collaborations come in, doing joint workshops, doing freebie swaps or Facebook group swaps, which a lot of my clients inside of Activate Abundance do with each other, because it exponentially has this transfer of trust. If I bring somebody into my Facebook group, the people that are in my Facebook group trust me. And so if I bring somebody in to share value, there's a transfer of trust from my clients to that person who I bring in because they're trusting me, right? It's just like a referral. If you were to refer somebody to your favorite doctor or massage therapist, even if they don't know them, they're probably going to trust them more than just a stranger because you referred them, right? There's that transfer of trust. So, client attraction is something that has to happen every day. Nurturing, once they come into your ecosystem and you've attracted them either on your email list or in your Facebook group or connecting with them in some way, shape, or form, you have to nurture them. Now, the other piece that we talk about with nurturing that is actually really, really fun is we have something where I teach my clients how to do an audit, and it is, or an assessment. And it is a complete give. It falls in the nurture category because we just invite them to hop on a quick 20-minute, 30-minute max call to help them uncover where they're stuck and to help them to create a small win. But there is no offer there. In the nurture category, we are only nurturing and serving and sharing. We're not inviting people to work with us. Why do we do this? Well, we do this because people cannot work with us, will not work with us unless they feel safe and trusting, and that they feel that they are predictably going to get a result when they work with you. So when you have an audit or an assessment with somebody and you are simply there to support them and serve them and share, you are creating rapport, you are creating trust, and you are creating safety with them before you even invite them to work with you, right? And so we get to just do the assessment with them, let them go. If they want to, implement what it is that they learned, amazing. And most of the time, they're going to say, this is great. How can I work with you? So then we move into the invite, which is a consultation. An assessment is different from a consultation. An assessment, there is no offer. A consultation is when we're saying, great, I would love to share ways that I can work with you or the ways that I could support you. And that's when we're actually sharing the offer or we're inviting somebody to explore working with us. Is this making sense? You guys making sense how this works? Yeah. Okay, great. So here's what we want to do. I want you to think about mapping your attraction flow. So think about, how do new leads or new people discover you? How can you get their attention? They're on the sidewalk. How are you going to help them find you? I want you to think of 3 things that you can do to help them find you. One could be doing a guest talk in somebody else's Facebook group. Another could be sharing a freebie, right? A high value, high converting lead magnet. Another could be posting on social media. Hey, who are my women who want to take their business from an expensive hobby into creating a steady stream of clients? That would be mine, right? When they raise their hand, I know that that is something that I can help solve that problem of feeling like they just have an expensive hobby and their business isn't making money, to actually uncovering what it is that they need to do to attract clients and have a daily income plan for a steady stream of clients. So think about ways, and if you're unsure, you can go back up here to this client attraction wheel. These are all different ways that you can attract clients. So there's well more than 3 that we even talked about today. Okay. Then the second step is, how are you going to build trust and connection with them once you've attracted them into your ecosystem? What are you going to do then? And it doesn't have to be crazy hard. It could be as simple as, hey, I'm so glad that you're here in my Facebook group. Welcome. Hey, is there anything that you need today? Tell me, how was the freebie that you just downloaded? What questions do you have for me about that? Right? How are you building trust and connection just as a real person? And remember, that has to happen before you're inviting them to work with you. How many of you are nurturing people in your ecosystem consistently? I find that that is one of the biggest missing pieces. It's one of the biggest missing pieces. Oh, good. Great, Deanna. Fantastic. Yeah, Caroline says I need to do more nurturing. Yeah, great. So nurturing, great. Now, once we nurture, we actually also want to keep a list of the people who are nurturing. Because if we don't have a list of the people that we're nurturing, how are we going to remember who to reach out to when we have an offer? Right? So keep a list of the people that you're nurturing. By the way, we give you that. If you're inside of the Success Studio, you have that tracker. If you're inside of Activate Abundance Academy, you have that tracker as well. So that you know exactly who you're nurturing, so that when you are opening up enrollment for a program or you have a space to take a one-on-one client, you already have a list of the people that you're in relationship with, so you can just invite them to the natural next step, right? So when we make an invitation, one way we can make an invitation is, hey, so and so, are you still, looking for, or are you still working on tapping deeper into your intuition? If so, are you open to exploring, joining me in this next round of whatever your program name is called? Right? So we just want to give them that natural next step, which doesn't feel weird to them because they're already in relationship with you. Right? What feels weird, what feels salesy, what feels wonky, what feels uncomfortable is if we are inviting people that we've just attracted into our ecosystem, right? Because we don't have a relationship with them yet. So I challenge all of my clients to actually make one invitation a day, one invitation to work with them a day. And the beauty of that is you already have your 3 offers. You can make an offer every single day into your bite-size offer. Every single day, you can invite somebody into your low ticket offer to connect, to help them to create a win. And then you can invite them to take the natural next step with you, either into your mid ticket or your high ticket offer. Okay. So this is what we call our golden hour inside of Activate Abundance Academy. And it is our aligned actions that we take every single day for 60 minutes that help us create visibility, nurture and give people value, and create an invitation to work with us. How do you think your business would be different if you focused on these 3 things? By the way, this is the 20% of your actions that are going to create 80% of your revenue. These 3 things that you focus on for 1 hour a day, if you can do more than 1 hour, absolutely. But if you only have 1 hour a day, these are the things that you focus on every single day. And this is going to create 80% of your revenue. How amazing is that? Right? Tomorrow, I'm going to talk more about how we actually make heart-centered invitations, right? And the ladder of belief. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to stop the share and want to just kind of share once again that we just opened up enrollment into Activate Abundance Academy. Some of you are already in it. And right now is the best time to actually hop in because in 2026, we're actually increasing the price to our core program, but we've got 2 tracks for you. And we did not have 2 tracks for a very, very long time. It was 2018 when I started teaching Activate Abundance Academy, and there used to only be one way into Activate Abundance Academy, and that was at the $15,000 rate, okay, which gave you everything. It gave you private calls. It also gave you strategy calls with me. It gave you connection calls with our success coaches. It gave you private tech calls. It gave you, all the things that I knew that I needed in my business. And it was just until September or this past September, that I said, you know what? I want to create another level to make it a little bit more accessible for people so that if they still want to learn the entire system, they can decide whether they want to join it at the group rate, which is our core rate, or if they want to choose all of the private support. So we open that up at a very, very special rate of only $500 a month for core. which is way undervalued with what it is that we typically charge that type of program, because you get live coaching support the first 3 weeks of the month. The fourth week of the month, you get productivity calls with our time management coach and our productivity coach. You get marketing calls, you get mindset calls, except it's all in a group format. So if you are at all interested in joining Activate Abundance Academy, if you're at all interested in finally getting a handle on making this business actually work, to have consistent clients, to have a six-figure or beyond business, now is the best time, because it will never be cheaper. And we also have some really, really cool bonuses. So we are inviting people to join us inside of our next cash flow accelerator for free when you join Activate Abundance Academy. We're also giving you extra. The first 5 actually get a fast track strategy call with me. And the first 5 that pay in full actually get a month of private support with me, so that we can help you start creating income in your business really, really quickly. So most coaches actually get stuck along either I don't have the time to do this, or I'm not making any money in my business, so how can I actually invest in my business, right? Or I'm not sure, I need to think about it, I'm not ready. And what I want to share is that if you are a heart yes, if you're like, this sounds amazing, this sounds exactly what it is that I would love to learn to grow my business, then first you just get to make that decision. Is this something that you feel that you would want to learn so that you can implement it in your business? Take the money out of it for now. Take the time out of it for now, because what's true is that time and money are two sides of the same coin, and it bends to our priorities. It bends to our priorities. Time and money will always bend to our priorities. So you'll figure out the time, you'll figure out the money, but what's more important is decide, is this something that I feel like I'm a heart yes for learning? If you're a heart yes for learning it, great. Then let's hop on a call and I can brainstorm with you to uncover, how do you find the time and how can you create a cash infusion in your business so that you can afford it? Because the truth is, if we wait until we have all of the money saved up, if we wait until we feel like all of the stars align and we've got all the time in the world to take action on it, we will be waiting for the rest of our lives, right? It's not about having all of the time. It's about a decision to make the time to grow your business. It's about this decision to find the resources to invest in your business so that you can actually have the business, serve the clients, and have the life that you want to have. It's a simple decision. And one of the things that we added inside of Activate Abundance Academy to lower the risk for all of you, in addition to helping you create income in your first 30 days, is we do have a guarantee. And we guarantee that if you show up to the calls, if you take the action, if you implement the process, and you do not double your income, we will work with you until you do. So you're not ever going to be losing the money that you spend, because we're going to work with you until you double it. But here's what I know. Everybody doubles, triples, quadruples their investment when they implement. If you don't implement, nothing's going to happen, right? But that's why we have accountability for you. That's why we have support for you. That's why we have Q&A calls. That's why we have implementation sessions that are actually 4 hours during our week 2, except for today. Cynthia's inside of Activate and I had to reschedule because I wasn't feeling well because I've got this cold, right? But we are on the call with you to help you take the action and implement right on the call so that you are not left with just watching a module and trying to figure it out on your own, right? So I would love to know if you want more support. Again, just hop in the chat that you would like support with the word support. I'm more than happy to support you on a call. I do not do, dragging anybody across the finish line. I simply will listen and I'll help you and I'll be truthful whether or not this is something that'll work for you or not. And if you book the call with me before Saturday, because look, I know my schedule is really, really crazy, but if you book the call with me before Saturday, you'll be able to lock in that special rate, and the bonuses. Okay. But once Saturday at midnight hits, the bonuses go away. So if you don't have a call booked on my calendar by Saturday to explore joining us inside this program, then the regular and the standard investments will apply. So, what is coming up for you guys today around attract, nurture, and invite? What is one golden nugget, one aha, one something that you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm missing? This is what I'm missing. And once I get this dialed in, I can see how this is going to impact my business exponentially. Yeah, Caroline, thank you.
Um, and I wrote it in the chat. I think that I need to add that component of nurturing because that's my gap.
Yeah.
I feel like they need to have my freebie. They need to be, interacting a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, and so I'm excited to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I haven't done enough of it. Maybe just because I haven't. And
But
so,
nobody teaches us this. That's the
right,
problem.
they say go do it, and you're like, oh, okay. And
Right.
and I think, the other thing I think is you have to really know why you're doing something. And I think you have to know it not just on the brain, left brain level. I think you have to really understand that connection piece.
Hmm.
And I mean, people that read my book, it's 9 hours to read my book if you're reading pretty fast. So when somebody reads my book, oh,
Hmm.
my book is not just about, oh, here these are the steps. My book is about my life. So they know me, and that's the reason why when people read the book, it's a very quick connection because they know everything about me.
Hmm.
But if they haven't read the book, then that's a bit of a gap.
Hmm.
And so that's I'm learning to, just be me. And there's so many people out there that are so supportive, where they'll write, they'll put a heart out. They won't just put the happy,
Yeah.
click. They will type. And if somebody's willing to type for me, because I type for others,
Yes.
you know, then that's who's going to get my freebie. That's who's going to get my. You are so supportive of me. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Where are you at and with your intuition? Are you
Yeah.
leveraging it? And then
Yeah.
see what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's it. And to put those people then on your list, I call
Yeah.
it our yes list, so that we can check back in with them. One of the things that we do with the people on our list is we reach out to them twice a month to check in. Hi, how are you? How's it
Yeah.
going? How's it going with your kid who went to college? Like we actually become real people. Right? We're not just like, hey, buy my thing. We're like, oh, like your dahlias. I love flowers. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh my gosh, those are so beautiful, right? So there's a relationship there that we get to have with people, knowing people as real people. And if we don't know who it is that we need to be connecting and building relationships with, then we are kind of stuck. Then we're just doing the things that we know to do, which is in the attract category, or
Yeah.
we're randomly picking people to nurture, or we're not nurturing in a way that's really delivering or giving value, right? So,
And
we want to make sure that we're doing that.
I think it's a win-win-win
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it's all, and because we have to be able to enjoy it too. And sometimes when I'm on Facebook, I'm like, oh my God, I just got done posting. Okay, now I have to, I'm looking at my morning schedule so that I can get that golden hour in because
Hmm.
I'm going to have the time of my life with people because,
Yeah.
they love the dahlias. It's like, I don't know, do you have a preference? Where you just start, and then and even if they have no, let's say, no interest in intuition or manifesting, which is fine,
Yeah. Yeah.
they might know somebody, and
Hmm.
I might know somebody that's maybe I can give a resource or, whatever it is. But I just feel like I just haven't scheduled that in. I just haven't done it, and now I'm kind of excited about
Yay!
it.
I'm so glad. That makes my heart so happy. Yes, these things are not hard. They just
Right.
take intention, right?
Yeah.
It
And
takes
I
effort
need
to
to
build and grow a business.
yeah, and I
It
need
doesn't
to
have
be
to be hard.
organized so I can have my little day figured out. And oh yeah, I talked to her
Hmm.
2 weeks ago. I'm going to check in again.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fun. That's not hard, right? I mean, when we think, I think a lot of times we think, "Oh my gosh, this is so hard." That's not the right word.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's that we are looking for clarity. We're unsure where to focus our time. But we keep telling ourselves it's hard, and so it becomes hard, and we think we equate the effort with it actually being hard. It's not hard. Birthing a baby is hard.
And
I'll tell you that's hard.
so
Naturally. That's hard,
now
right?
this is something else. When you like, I'm thinking too, like I need to add people to my list, but I don't even know if more than 50 people are getting my text
Hmm.
or my Facebook stuff. But I really feel like when I do, friend somebody and they friend me and it all works out,
Hmm.
I feel like I that's my starting point.
Yes.
Usually I'm just like, okay, I'll do 10 and then I forget
Yeah.
about it. I need to follow up.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that otherwise why friend them?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there's other ways to bring people into our ecosystem, right? So
Right.
again, posting is just one to be visible, but there are
Right.
other ways, right? Such as, doing a mini talk, doing an
Yeah.
in-person talk, doing an online talk, coming into somebody else's group and sharing how intuition works. There are lots of people that serve people who are interested in intuition just in a different way, right? Maybe it's an energy worker, right? That serves people who are tapped into intuition. So you could connect and collaborate, and you could go talk about intuition in their community, and then they could come into yours. Or you could, if you don't have a community yet, you could actually share their freebie or do a little interview with them on Zoom, right? And then you could invite. So there's lots of ways to collectively grow and build your business if you don't feel like you have a big enough audience, right? That is something that we work on. We are working on growing our audience every single day. And if you don't like that word, think about it as you're cultivating community, right? That's how I see it. Every day I'm cultivating community.
Right. And I think
Mhm.
you have to do the things, there's 10 ways to do everything. And I'm like, I have a life and
Oh,
you know
totally.
what I mean? I'm just I am going to, you know, pull the ones in that I feel I'm actually enjoying. I feel like
Yeah.
my ideal client is somewhere there. And my business clients, I mean, I pretty much, they're
Mhm.
not always on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And that's okay.
yeah,
Now, yeah, so you
but
can totally reach
there
out to
are
them.
the intuitive light worker people, they're on Facebook.
Well, people spend, and I think you know this already, but for those of you that are here that don't know this already, the two places that people spend the majority of their time are YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
If we were, out of all of them, out of Pinterest, out of TikTok, out of Instagram, out of what are the other ones? I know I'm missing a whole bunch of them. There's a lot of different social media places, X, but those are the places, especially if you are starting out, that you need to be at first, because those are where the majority of the people hang out. So we know that our ideal client is somewhere on Facebook hanging out or listening or watching a video on YouTube. Great. We know that they're there. So start where the majority of your clients are hanging out, show up there, go to where they are, and then pick one of those things on the client attraction wheel to implement to bring them into either on your email list or in your Facebook group, or have them raise their hand on a post or something so that you can start what I like to call being in a game of catch, right? That interaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, so Deanna had a question. If I have my offer dialed in but don't have all the pieces of it completed, can I go ahead and offer it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So as long as your offer is dialed in and you know what it is and how long it is and what the price point is, you can certainly go ahead and offer it. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I teach my clients is that you really only, if it's a program, for example, let's say it's a group program, you really only need the first 2 weeks dialed in. You can build it out as you go, right? If you have at least the first 2 weeks of it built out, then you teach the first week and you build out week 3, and you teach the second week and you build out week 4, and right? So you can build it out as you go, which I actually enjoy doing because then you are actually building it out in response to what people are asking for, which is even more impactful. So, yeah, absolutely. Any final questions about attract, nurture, how to bring people into your ecosystem before
I
we
have
close
a
out for
crazy
today?
question.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I and it came about from one of my clients who was just responding, from my program. I have 15 modules, and she was saying, "This is the module, I just have trouble." And she goes, "I want to do it all, but I don't know." Well, I created a checklist for her.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, somebody needs something, and then now it's for everybody. So I have the 15 module checklist, and I was even thinking, what if I were to, you have to get the program, it's coaching. But what if I said, hey, I just created my checklist for my 15 module thing. It's something that would be like a teaser, but it's also helpful because they could still has right on there, meditating. They could still use it. They may not be able to know the whole thing, but it's a way to say, I mean, I made it. Would you like it?
yeah, yeah, totally.
Is that something you think is crazy or do?
No, no, no. I think that's a great idea. I just wouldn't say, like, who wants my checklist for 15 modules? I would say something else. Like, hey, who wants my checklist for tapping more deeply into your intuition? Right?
Yes.
Because we don't want a checklist for modules. We want a checklist to help us accomplish something. And for you, you help them tap deeper into their intuition.
Yes.
So I would position it that way, right?
Okay.
Remember, what are we selling? What are we offering, right? It's the good night's sleep is what they're asking for. So that's what we want to lead with versus the mattress. The checklist for the modules is the mattress, right? The checklist for tapping into your deeper intuition is the good night's sleep.
Yeah. Now it does say on the checklist for that thing, but I can still invite it with that.
Yeah, or you can just edit it, like take that piece off and just retitle it, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, just retitle it. That way you keep one inside your program and then just
yeah.
retitle it for, hey, here's a checklist that I use to help my clients tap deeper into their intuition. Who wants it?
Love that.
Yeah.
Now that's not something I've set up that I don't need their email list. Is that something do you still ask for their email or what do you do with that?
Yeah. So one or the other. So you can either say, when they raise their hand, you can either, and I recommend getting their email just because we want to know, again, they're in our ecosystem. We want to make sure that they're still getting nurtured. So I would say, hey, Chris, I'm so glad that you want the checklist. Happy to send it to you. What's the best email that I can use to send it your way? That's what I would do. And then they're going to give me their email. And now I get to send them a beautiful, lovely email. Hey, Chris, thanks so much. I'm so excited to share this with you. Here you go. By the way, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach back out. Happy to hop on a quick call and walk you through it.
Yeah. And then do you add that to manually yourself to your email list?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. If you don't have a separate landing page for a freebie, then that's how you would do it manually.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you have a landing page, where they would give you their name and email address for the checklist to tap into your deeper into your intuition, which you could totally do that too. You just would duplicate the one that you made inside of the 30-day lead magnet that monetizes program and just
Okay.
edit the title.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but for right now, I would say, hey, I just created this really cool checklist for my clients to help them tap deeper into their intuition. Who wants it? Right? Now they're raising their hand. So what did you just do? You got the people who are on the sidewalk's attention, right? Now they're coming, they're getting your checklist, which means that checklist is a bench,
Yeah.
right? Now you get to connect with them and nurture them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And then there's
Cool.
so many questions to ask for the
I
rest of my
know.
life
Well,
about it because 'cause they're like, "Hey, where'd my checklist go?" She's asking me so
I love it. Yeah, well, I mean, that's why, having support over, time is a good thing. And so I'm so glad you're in the studio, the success studio, because these are great questions to bring, to our Q&A call next week for sure.
Yeah.
Like try it out, let me know, write down your questions or whatever, and then come in. So, for those of you that are like, what the heck's the Success Studio? That's our monthly membership that some of our clients are in that focus specifically on lead generation and sales. Okay, it doesn't teach you how to do an online nurture event or an in-person nurture event. It's not the full 6 steps. It's only focused specifically on lead generation and sales. Yeah, but it comes with mini trainings, Q&A calls, networking things, and it's super super fun. I love.
Can I just say
Doing that.
something of how wonderful it is?
Oh,
Would
thank you.
anyone else?
Yes.
I love it because it's just right for where I'm at right now. And I mean, it's packed full. There's I'm learning a lot and I've been in sales and marketing, for a really long time. So this is kind of giving me that boost into social media, how to um the newer ways to market.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
And the
because
people
it
are
changes.
great and it's just right.
I'm so glad. It's only $97 a month. By the way, it's going up to 197 in January. So if you want information about the studio, we will be sharing more after we finish,
And
enrolling and
it's even
activating
less.
benefits.
I'm a former financial advisor, and it's even less than that if you just pay it
Do the
like
year.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So
absolutely, for sure. Yeah, you get 2 months for free. So it turns out to be, I don't know, 60, 70 something a month. Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
it's 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 really a no-brainer.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a
Thank
great
you.
way. I mean, I say jump in wherever you want, but if you don't know, just jump in and then you can always upgrade. That's what you and I talked
Absolutely.
about in the beginning. I said,
Yeah.
"Well, I think I'll just do this because I'm kind of busy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens."
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Caroline. I so appreciate you. Yeah.
Well, you're
All
so
right,
welcome.
ladies.
Thanks for all you do because it's a lot.
Oh, well, I have fun. I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. So, and again, this is something that I wish I had learned
Yeah.
earlier in my journey because this makes building and growing a business fun. It doesn't feel wonky, it doesn't feel icky. It feels very generous, it feels very heart-centered, and it works. It brings the right people into your ecosystem. You can grow an amazing business. It helped me create over $2.5 million in my business, going from a single mom with $25 in my bank account, right? Like this is the system that I've created over the years and then I get to teach it to more people. And I love it because it's not based on hacks. It's not based on tactics. It's not based on dancing on reels. It's like these are timeless principles that work. Yeah. So thank you. All right, ladies, I'm going to pop off for today. Come back tomorrow because we are talking all about heart-centered invitations, right? And we have to make those invitations, otherwise we don't have clients, paying clients. So we're going to talk about the ladder of beliefs as well, which I love to remind people on because whenever we buy anything, we actually go through a ladder of beliefs. And when you know what the ladder of beliefs are, you can support your client whenever they get stuck on one of those steps, right? You can see, oh, she doesn't believe it's actually possible for her. Okay. So what does she need to help her believe that her result or her outcome is actually possible? Okay. So we're going to go through that tomorrow. All right. We will let Zoom do its thing and then we will get it up inside of the recordings for you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.
Thank
Bye.
you.